أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو عالم الغيب والشهادة هو الرحمن الرحيم. هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن السلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار المهيمن العزيز الجبار المتكبر سبحان الله عما يشركون. هو الله الخالق البارئ المصور له الأسماء الحسنى له الأسماء الحسنى يسبح له ما في السماوات والأرض وهو العزيز الحكيم. صدق الله العظيم. In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate. He is Allah, beside whom there is no God, the knower of the unseen and the seen. He is all merciful, very merciful. He is Allah, beside whom there is no God, the sovereign, the supreme in holiness, the safe, the guardian, the giver of peace, the almighty, the all-repairer, the sublime. Pure is Allah from what they associate with Him. He is Allah, the creator, the inventor, the shaper. His are the most beautiful names. His purity is proclaimed by all that is in the heavens and the earth. And He is the Almighty, the All-Wise. Jazakallah khair.
MashaAllah, subhanAllah, that was a beautiful recitation of the Holy Quran from Brother Abdullah. Jazakallah khair for that. I begin in the name of Almighty Allah, the most compassionate, the ever merciful, the Lord of the heavens and the earth, and the creator of all. And I would like to firstly welcome all of you, our esteemed scholars, members of parliament, police officers, those from the third sector, those on the front line, and all of you from the local community, to the seventh annual Community Iftar held by Minhaj ul Quran International London, supported by Minhaj Welfare Foundation and Revive FM. After 2 years of a pandemic, by the grace of Almighty Allah, we've been able to now come together for a community iftar. And I know There'll be many people here today who over the last 2 years have lost many loved ones that were with us before and are not here today. So I ask that we also remember those that were with us, those that shared their words, their conversations, and their lifelong efforts, and the sacrifices and the contributions they made to the local community. And I also like to say that Ramadan epitomizes the essence of Islam, the servitude to the Lord Almighty, care and compassion to the whole community, and change and a desire to change ourselves to be better. To be better not just for ourselves, but to be better for those around us, Muslims and non. And in a narration of the Prophet ﷺ, he said, Islam does not exist without collective life. The very essence of Islam is community and is togetherness. It is the kind of aspects of community that you see today. And as any of the scholars here will tell you, and as Muslims will tell you, young and old, the idea of collective life is so significant in the life of Muslims that, you know what, an individual prayer is not superior to a collective prayer. That the collective congregational prayer of Fridays is much superior than other prayers. The Prophet, peace and blessings upon him, in a famous narration said the food of two is enough for three, and the food of three is enough for four. He talked about the community. And when the Prophet of Islam, when he became the leader of Medina, the city-state of Medina, he got the Muslims and non-Muslims together, and he called them one community. And he made them into one nation, and he declared them as an ummah. And that is what we're seeing here today. We're seeing a community coming together, Muslims and non, people from all walks of life. And that's what iftar is about. That is what Ramadan is about. Coming together, sharing some food, sharing conversation, and sharing smiles. So I hope you all enjoy our company here today. And I hope we all can use this as an opportunity to have some comfort together, an opportunity to come together. But without further ado, I'm going to carry on with the proceedings of today. And there'll be nothing more that we can do today than have some entertainment. And one of the ways Muslims do their entertainment, it is with the praise of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. And I want to invite on to the stage a young lady, and I can tell you about this young lady. This young lady, just a few days ago, at the All-Party Parliamentary Group on British Muslims' Big Iftar in Parliament, she recited the verses of the Holy Quran in Speaker's House, and I can tell you she elevated the complete house. So she's a joy to listen to. That is Khadija Rafiq, and I would like to welcome her to the stage to entertain the guests here today at the Community Iftar. And if I can have a round of applause, I welcome her to the stage.
الصلاة والسلام 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 صلاة الله سلام الله على طه رسول الله صلاة الله سلام الله على ياسين حبيب الله على ياسين حبيب الله صلاة الله سلام الله على طه رسول الله صلاة الله سلام الله على ياسين حبيب الله على ياسين غما بأهل البدر يا الله إلهي سالم الأمة من الآفات والنقمة ومن حم ومن غمة بأهل البدر يا الله صلاة الله سلام الله على طه رسول الله صلاة الله سلام الله على ياسين حبيب الله صلاة الله سلام الله على ياسين حبيب الله توسلنا ببسم الله وبالحادي رسول الله وكل مجاهد لله بأهل البدر يا الله توسلنا ببسم الله وبالهادي رسول الله وكل مجاهد لله بأهل البدر يا الله صلاة الله سلام الله على طه رسول الله صلاة الله سلام الله على ياسين حبيب الله على ياسين حبيب الله وكم من رحمة أسلت وكم من نعمة وسلات وكم من نعمة وسلات بأهل البدر يا الله صلاة الله سلام الله على طه رسول الله صلاة الله سلام الله على ياسين حبيب الله Peace be upon Rasulullah. Peace be upon Habibullah. Peace be upon Nabi Allah. Peace be upon Safi Allah. Salatullah, salamullah ala taha Rasulillah. Salatullah, salamullah ala Yasin Habibillah, ala Yasin Habibillah. Salatullah, salamullah ala taha Rasulillah. Salatullah, salamullah ala Yasin Habibillah. Salatullah, salamullah ala Yasin Habibillah.
Thank you for that. That was young lady Khadija. And just bearing in mind, iftar time is coming very quick, so I'm going to speed through this if I can. Can I invite the next guest, who's Chief Inspector Owen from the local police, to come and say a few words, please?
Thank you. Hello, everybody. Keep in mind that it is coming up close to fast breaking time. I'll keep this short. My name is Owen Pyle. I'm the local partnership chief inspector. I've only just joined the borough, so it's my first time I've come to one of these events. It's an honour and a pleasure to have been invited to be with you tonight for iftar. This iftar event is a wonderful opportunity to join in fellowship with our local communities. Quite often as police officers, the only interaction we may have with people is at the time of their time of greatest need, when they are at their worst and need help. So to spend tonight breaking your fast with you is a privilege, especially as this event hasn't been held for a few years due to COVID. Ramadan is a time to remember the shared values that we have: peace, community, and the importance of upholding justice. I know that the last few months and years have been professionally challenging for the Met Police, and I know that some of our communities may have had their trust in us dented. However, I also know that in Newham, we work hand in hand with local communities, and we hope that you will allow us to continue this good work and rebuild your trust in us. Our relationship with the Muslim community, and mosques in particular, is strong, and I look forward to this going from strength to strength over the coming months and years. Again, thank you, and it's a pleasure and privilege to be with you.
Thank you for that, Chief Inspector. Can we also have a round of applause, because we've got many officers who are here keeping us safe after some recent attacks as well. Thank you for them for coming out. Just a short, quick announcement. There's a community radio network with a number of community local radio stations from around the country. And that is Link FM in Sheffield, Inspire FM in Luton, Salam Radio in Peterborough, Unity FM, Fawaz FM, Crescent FM, Asian Radio, Fawaz FM in Glasgow, Radio Ikhlas, Radio Faza, Radio Dawn, Radio Sira, Fever FM, CV FM Radio, Heritage Radio, Awaz FM, and Revive FM. And they are running a local campaign in local communities, which is a share an iftar campaign, to share an iftar with your neighbors. And that will take place tomorrow. So anybody who wants to take part in that, please do take part in that as well. We know there's many people who are going hungry, the cost of living crisis amongst us as well. So if you can share our food, that would go a long way as well. Without further ado, I want to move on to our next guest, who's also a partner in this iftar. I'd like to invite the Director of Operations for Minhaj Welfare Foundation, Brother Adnan. Assalamu alaikum.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I'll be very quick because I know there's a lot of speakers yet to come. On behalf of Minhaj Welfare Foundation and the entire team, I'm very grateful to all of the guests across East London that have turned out to this amazing event. We are very open. Anybody who's listening to this right now, at the time of iftar, you're more than welcome to have food with us. Minhaj Welfare Foundation is a humanitarian arm of Minhaj Quran. Every year, especially in the month of Ramadan, the community of Minhaj, not just in London, but around the UK and across the globe, raise millions and millions of pounds during the month of Ramadan. This is one aspect of the Muslim community where we are supporting not just humanity as a large in Yemen, Palestine, Africa, the subcontinent, but also here at home, we are supporting local communities, and Minhaj Welfare Foundation hopes to continue this support, whether it's through food bank drives and supporting local community initiatives. But once again, on behalf of Minhaj Welfare Foundation, I would like to thank Minhaj Quran London and its entire team. And I would like to ask everybody, with the loudest of your claps, give everybody a massive round of applause.
Thank you for that, Brother Adnan Sahel. I think the chill was getting to him, so he moved quick. It is a cold evening. It's very, very cold. It's like the winter months have come back. But look, I think this is a time of self-reflection, of remembrance as well, because there's many people who are in conditions which are very difficult right now. And one of the things Ramadan teaches us is to think about others and think about their conditions as well. And so that means, you know, the Muslim community proudly says that they're one of the most giving communities in the month of Ramadan. And so all those out there, I do urge you to support Minhaj Welfare Foundation and their campaigns locally as well. Moving to our next speaker, and I'll be honest with you, he is a local celebrity more than a politician. And I don't say that out of any type of, trying to big somebody up, but it is the local member of parliament for East Ham, Stephen Timms. He's also a chair of a select committee, the Work and Pension Select Committee, and he's also the chair and an active member on many all-party parliamentary groups in Parliament. And he has a busy schedule. But what I think is what he has, which is very, very unique, and I know I can hear this from testimonies from many people here is no matter how busy he is in Parliament, you know, a select committee chair has a very busy schedule. You know, they are one of the most important roles in holding governmental departments to account. But what Stephen does is he always gives time to local constituents and local communities. And he has always given time to Minhajul Quran in London. So can I give him a huge round of applause as he comes to the stage?
Well, friends, assalamu alaikum. Ramadan Mubarak. Thank you very much for that very kind introduction. I'm delighted to be here. Very pleased that we can come together once again. One of the things that I do in Parliament is I chair the all-party parliamentary group on faith and society. And we saw what was happening during the pandemic and we undertook some research. We published a report in November 2020 pointing out just how far it has been the case through the pandemic that communities right across the country have depended on faith groups. It has been the churches and the mosques and the gurdwaras that communities right across the UK depended on during the pandemic to get food out to people, to meet other needs in the community. That was certainly the case here in Newham. The council set up the Newham Food Alliance. I'm delighted to see Councillor Anne Easter here. Councillor Havinder Singh Verdi is here, others as well. And that did a great job in partnership with Minhajul Quran, with churches, with the Gurdwaras in the borough. And so what I really want to do this evening is on behalf of the whole community to express thanks to Minhajul Quran for the contribution that this mosque made to the well-being of our community during these two very, very difficult years. You had the vaccination centre here that I visited. I think Revive FM has done a great job during this time as well. So on behalf of all of us, thank you. And I wish everybody a very blessed Ramadan this year and look forward to what's to come afterwards as well. Thank you very much. Thank you.
As you can see, I'm not as tall as Stephen, so I'm going to have to pull it down a little bit. But thank you for that. No, I think genuinely one of the things that you find in members of Parliament and people like Stephen is that local community spirit. And it's about being a community member of Parliament. And that's not anything about party politics. That's about being a hard-working local member of Parliament on a Friday evening when you want to spend time with your family. To come out to share that with your local community is hugely appreciated. I just want to invite on now the president of Minhajul Quran International London to share a few words of thanks on behalf of the centre and speak about the work that they have been doing throughout the year as well.
Yeah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. First of all, we're very short on time, so I'll keep it as brief as possible. First of all, from the bottom of my heart and on behalf of Minhajul Quran International London, we welcome all our guests and we really appreciate your time and effort. As Brother Adnan mentioned, you know, in this cold, windy evening, we really appreciate you accepting the invitation and coming. Just one thing I'd like to say, the message of Ramadan is not just abstaining from food and other things, but it's also the fasting of the tongue, which means don't let your tongue say words which are going to affect or hurt other people. In effect, say things which will help other people. Similarly with your acts as well. So this is a message of fasting, is the message of peace, tolerance and bringing everybody together. And it's wonderful to see in Newham we actually have this. And this is the stage is a demonstration of this. So all I'd like to say is thank you very much for all the guests and thank you very much to all the volunteers, Minhaj Brothers, Minhaj Sisters and Women League who have brought all the food here and our welfare arm, which is Minhaj Welfare Foundation. In terms of the activities that the centre is doing, we'll hand out some of these leaflets, booklets, the A5 ones, rather than me explaining everything due to shortage of time. So once again, thank you very much and we really appreciate your time and coming here.
Thank you very much for that, Brother Huram. I'd also like to give a huge shout out to Umesh Desai, you know, who's also a huge supporter of Minhajul Quran, and he's done a lot to mention this. And if you could just say a few words before we go to the prayer as well.
Friends, sisters, brothers, good evening and salam alaikum. and thank you for inviting me to tonight's event. I'm delighted to be here. I've participated before in Community Iftars organized by the Minhaj, but because of COVID, we haven't been able to meet for the last 2 years. So it's so great to see so many of you who haven't seen for a long, long time. Can I endorse everything that Stephen has said about the work that Minhaj does? And I think it's the first time I've heard someone described as a community MP, Stephen. But look, I'm a big friend of the work that Minhaj does, Minhaj International, work in Indonesia, the Far East, in Africa, in Pakistan, the welfare work, the Minhaj Welfare Foundation, the work of the women's group, the work that you did during COVID, the food banks, and working with other community and other faith groups. And that is what is so good about NEOM, that we are one community, many faiths, but one community working together to get a better NEOM for all. Also, I just want to say very briefly, I'm conscious of time, but Minhaj inspires me a lot of the work I do the GLA or the police committee and the work that you do around community cohesion. I know that the Home Office sees you as a model body to counter extremism. And finally, brothers, sisters, the message of Ramadan, love, tolerance, compassion, justice, are messages that we need so much today in today's world driven by conflict, whether it be in Ukraine or in the Yemen. So on that note, can I actually wish you all Ramadan Kareem? And I know that Eid is still a few more days away, but let me take this opportunity to wish you in advance Eid Mubarak. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Umesh. And as Umesh mentions, that Minhajul Quran is an international organization, and it's just one of its roots that's here in London. And this all takes place because of the vision of our founder, Sheikhul Islam, Dr. Muhammad Tahirul Qadri, because he believes through the teachings and the essence of the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings upon him, that humanity means humanity for all, care means care for all, and love means love for all, peace means peace for all. And through that teaching, he's developed a tree where branches of love and mercy reach the entire regions of the world, and we are here just bearing the fruits in one of the branches, and that is here in Minhajul Quran in London. But as we know, as I mentioned earlier, there's many people who have lost their lives over the last 2 years. We know there's a crisis in Ukraine, and we know there's so much more that's happened. So I would actually, one of our chief guests is here, Ruxana. If I can just get Ruxana to say a few words before we go to the prayer. And I think it's Asian timing, but she's made it. A round of applause to Ruxana.
Look, I'll keep it very short. Just wanting to convey my gratitude, peace, and my blessings during this really important month for so many members of our community, the Muslim community. And may Allah's grace and du'as be with us as, inshallah, we continue to serve our communities. Thank you very much. And Iftar Mubarak.
I hope Ruxana won't mind me making a light-hearted joke, but my mum always says, you always make it for the food. So thank you very much, Ruxana. So if you can just have a quick, we're going to stand up and we're going to have a 1 minute silence, remembering those lives that have been lost. And then from there, we're going to have a short dua and prayer from Allama Sahib. And we'll start that now.
Just let everybody be quiet.
Thank you very much. If I can invite Allama Sadiq Qureshi to the stage to do a collective prayer. That's possible.
From Christian community. 2 minutes. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. May God bring peace in Kashmir, in Palestine, in Ukraine, in Burma, Rohingya, in India. May God, we are your servant, and it is our duty to ask you, to supplicate you, to beg you for sake of Jesus, for sake of Moses, for sake of Abraham, for sake of Muhammad, peace be upon him, and for sake of your pious people. O God, we are your servant and we try our best to serve the community. Give us love, give us harmony, tolerance, peace, and knowledge. Then we can serve better to our community. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasana. Oh God, give us happiness in this world and happiness in hereafter, and save us the punishment of fire. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار بحق سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.
We're going to serve food on the chairs and the tables, and then we're going to have the azan that Abdullah will recite, and then we will have tea and dessert in the corner as well. So everybody is welcome to do that. But thank you everybody for coming and making this possible as well. The azan will signal the breaking of the fast. Jazakallah.
اللهم اني لك صمت اللهم اني لك صمت. You know اللهم اني لك صمت. Do that and then do your azan, yeah? Yeah? No, yeah.
I don't know the door.
Do you know that?
وعليك توكلت وعلى رزقك افترضت. اللهم إني لك سمت وبك آمنت وعليك توكلت وعلى رزقك أفطرت فتقبل مني. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
I'd just like to say thank you for everybody, the organizers, Minhaj Al-Quran International London, Revive FM, Minhaj Welfare Foundation, our chief guests, those from the local community, and especially all our volunteers who've made this possible. We now have time for food and some networking as well. So please do share numbers, exchange contacts, and hopefully enjoy the desserts as well. Thank you very much, everybody.